Hello, welcome to the live stream. Hi. Make sure y'all put a one in the chat if you can hear me. Thank you for that, Frankie. Now, if it does get too low, please let me know. I'm also doing some testing on my end, and it's sounding like it's getting low. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the live stream. Um, so hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm going live this evening because I actually wanted to talk about um, good versus evil because we are at a very critical point um, in society where everybody is it's either they showing the good side of them or just pure evil, pure hatred. You know, it's all boiled down to good versus evil. And honestly, if you ask me, you can't really see a lot of good out here. You know, there's not a lot of good people. I I had to hold myself back, you know, a few times from really going in on a few people as of lately because like this society is just so weird. Everybody out here is just either weird, evil, you know, and it's like they trying to trigger you. It's like they trying to figure out ways to provoke you. But I gotta hold myself back because I'm not a crash out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ready to go to jail, go to prison for defending myself. Because honestly, like if you ask me, when a person get in your personal space, that becomes a problem. If a person disagrees with you, it doesn't mean that they necessarily have to get all up in your face. You know, that's the problem that I have. The society that we live in now in 2025, people have absolutely no filter and no damn care in the world. And I'm just being 100. And I'm being raw and uncut with it. And I'm not sugarcoating anything because we are living in the times of good versus evil. And the evil beings, they will try to provoke you. They will try to get all up in your face. They don't care. They want to go to jail. They don't care. They want to die. They feel like they'll die anyway. When a person has that mindset, you know it's over with. You know they don't give a damn about nothing and nobody. When a person begins to lack compassion, it's over with. Any any human being out here that lacks compassion is no longer a human being. You gotta have some sort of emotion, and that biggest emotion is compassion because you gotta have love in your heart. And when you no longer have love in your heart, then you are a evil being, you know. And it's a lot of them out here. They want to see you do bad. They want to see you fail. They want to see you hurt. They want to see you down. They and I'm just gonna be 100. They just want to see you dead. That is that's the evil that we are amongst. And if you look at the Texas situation and the flood that happened in Texas and how all these black people are talking about, oh, that's what they get, that's what the kids get. I didn't see the whole entire thing, but I seen like some snippets of it. And it's like, oh well, they were being racist, blah blah blah. You know that you lack compassion in your heart when you are mocking the death of a child or the death of a human being overall, another human being just like yourself. Something is seriously wrong with you to even want someone dead, especially a child, especially a child. Something is wrong with you to even think about wishing death on another human being. And a lot of these people that we're dealing with and that we live amongst are crash outs. They are literally crash outs. It's like they keep trying to pick at you, they keep trying to trigger you. And it's because they need a reason to crash out. You hear me? It's because they need a reason to crash out. I mean, like I was just telling my husband earlier, I said, you know what? I have never in my life of living ever thought to myself that when I get older, adults would be extremely annoying. You know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of like I had been saying in my last few lives. Where are the adults? Because I feel like I'm surrounded by nothing but children. Seriously, babies and children. It's that's what it feels like. Serious, I'm dead serious. Like it feels like we are surrounded by babies and children, and I'm not talking about the actual babies and toddlers and children and stuff. I'm talking about grown ass men and women that act like little kids. It is the I mean like the fact that the trend is for older women to act young, you know, and middle aged women to become their teenage daughter's best friends and you know older men that wants to be young and it's like everybody, all these adults are going through a midlife crisis or worse. It's like they're back at the elementary school stages again. It's like nobody has a brain. Nobody can think for themselves anymore. Then they get mad when you try to give them a little bit of advice. It's like, you can't tell me what to do, just like a little ass child. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm really just giving you some advice. And it's just sad how like they don't want to hear it because they feel like you telling them what to do. This is crazy. I mean, I can't even count on my fingers, y'all, how many adults I have came across. And I've been trying to, I try to give a little advice here and there, because they ask, they try to act like they need advice. They ask, like, what should I do in this situation? And it's like when you try to give them a little advice, and you try to advise them on something, they are ready to be combative with you because they feel like you're telling them what to do. It's like people will find any reason there is to crash out. Any reason. They don't care anymore. And you know what has caused society to not care anymore? You know, the way how society is just it's broken. It's broken all across the globe. Real talk, especially the United States of America. It is a broken country, okay? Nothing but a bunch of broken people. A bunch of adults that can't even be adults. They're growing up with their children, but their children are maturing faster than them. How did you grow up as an adult? You were fine at first, and then you reverted back to elementary school stages again because your brain is not functioning correctly. And the only reason why your brain is not functioning correctly anymore is because you don't care, you don't love yourself anymore. You know deep down inside that the system has been ripping you to shreds mentally. You know. But a lot of y'all are out there are in denial. You in denial. You know the system is failing you because you want to know why y'all believed heavily in the system. You believe that the system can save your life. I don't understand how people can put so much trust into the system and then claim that they love God and they trust God and they got faith in God and things like that. But you put man. You put all your trust in man. The system has been failing a lot of people that never that never could have imagined that the system would ever fail them. They never could have imagined. In the system, they feel like the system is doing them wrong. But like I said before, y'all, honestly, the system always been this way. The system is always see they had this strategically planned out way, way before we were even thought of. Imagine they've been doing this for generations. This is nothing new under the sun. They have been failing people, watching people die, believing in the system. I mean, like, and it's crazy because it's like people are. Can you imagine that there's millions and billions of people that are deceased that really and truly believed that the system was going to save their lives. The system was going to give them everything they've ever needed, ever wanted. You know, can you imagine how many people that are already deceased that died really believing that? But the worst part about it, though, unfortunately, is to be alive and believe that the system is going to save you, to believe that the system is here for you. And just because they created and they built a system and they created laws, you know, you feel so entitled. And honestly, look, I'm just being honest. I'm telling the truth. This is they make you feel, it's like a mom, you know, breastfeeding a baby, okay? And then when she gets tired of breastfeeding the baby, she takes her breast away from the baby and decides that she wants to give the baby formula instead. So now the baby has to get used to drinking formula, and some babies have a hard time regulating. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they have a hard time transitioning off of breast milk to formula. Think of it that way. America is breastfed, literally. And now that they took it away from us, a lot of people can't handle it. They can't handle it. It's so many people out here crashing out. So many people on the edge. You know, I had called this out like months ago. And I'm like, man, it just seemed like everybody is on the edge. Everybody is angry. You know, in January, I still got the video. Did I think I did a live stream January of 2025. This January this year. And it was like day 3 or day 5 into January, and it was already some crazy ass shit that had happened, you know, to me specifically. And I said, oh, that is a sign. The way that it happened and the shit that happened, that was a sign to me that I need to keep my eyes open, because 2025 is going to be a roller coaster. And can you even imagine that we didn't even get through the whole entire year yet? We didn't even get through the whole entire year. And we are only in the 7th month of the year. And I'm telling you, since the beginning of this year, I have been seeing nothing but a bunch of crash outs. Everybody is just ready to kill, steal, and destroy. I mean, the evil, the sickness within people to glorify killings. It is sick, especially to see adults glorifying someone being dead. That has to be one of the most diabolical things. And then damn near everybody is having homicidal thoughts. People, like I said, they ready to kill, steal, and destroy. They do not care anymore. They don't care. Like I said, they ready to go to prison, jail, lock them up, and throw away the key. It does not phase them. What makes them feel better, you know, this is just so sick to me. What makes them feel better is just being able to see blood, see red. Because I'm telling you, I'm telling you, look, when y'all out here, I'm telling you, keep your guards up at all times, because it is crazy. People are going insane. Have you saw the movie that came out back in 2000 and I believe 6 or 7, I believe? The Crazies? Go back and watch that movie. Go back and watch that movie. I feel like this is exactly what we are up against at this point, you know? And see, it's so many different distractions, so many different distractions, so many different things that is distracting the people. It's distracting them so much that they no longer feel like living even matters. Do you not know the amount of crash outs that not only have homicidal thoughts but suicidal thoughts as well? And pardon me if I can't say that on YouTube, but I mean people are in that mindset. It's like you gotta literally protect yourself right now, protect your family, because people are crazy out here. They are crazy, and it's most definitely spiritual warfare, at its finest. And with that being said, is like I said, it's a critical moment in society because it's like spiritual warfare is turning physical. We have to fight, literally, because people will try you, and they will try. Let me tell y'all. Okay, prime example. Prime example. Lord, I can't hold back from saying this, but the other day, um, we were on public transportation in a whole nother city, right? So we got our baby with us, and mind you, it's so many different walks of life that will get on public transportation. It's just all walks of life, people of different ethnicities, and you got crackheads that get on there, prostitutes, all types of stuff. Unfortunately, right? And you never know who you gonna come across. And so this lady, she got on there, and I'm talking about she had throw up all on the side of her mouth, throw up all on her shirt, and she was just on there talking crazy. Obviously, something seriously very strange with her, wrong with her or whatnot. I just wanted her to stay the fuck away from us because you know how when the bus moves and the bus driver hit the brakes and the bus jerk and then people just be falling all over each other. Like, girl, get your ass away from me, you know? And so she went to go sit down in the back. And then I guess her stop was coming up. So she got up and I had looked away. I didn't even see her walking by my husband and my daughter. But I had looked away because I was looking out the window. And I turned back around out the corner of my eye. I see this lady like standing over my daughter, all up in her face, like literally extremely close. I'm not lying to you. At that point, I stood up, and there was another young lady and her husband and their child also that was across from us. So I stood up and I said, "Excuse me, could you get out of my child's face respectfully?" This lady immediately put her purse down and she said, "Huh? Who you talking to? What you say?" And like, I mean, she was ready. And I said, "Ma'am, I'm gonna be honest with you. You don't want to do that. That's not what you want to do. Get your behind off this bus. Get away from me, and never in your life do that again." She started talking about, "Oh no, I'm just, I was talking about." I said, "Get away from me and my family." So then she started getting mad and acting real rowdy, and then she got put off the bus. Um, the lady that was across from me with her husband, she said these exact words to me. She said, "If that was me, I'm sorry, I would have had to slap the shit out of her." And I said, I totally understand, but I'm not a crash out. You know, I'm not about to physically harm anybody unless I gotta really protect myself and protect my family. That's the only time that you're gonna see my fist go up. But I'm not like I can tell a person how I feel. Get out my door to face. Move around. Get off this bus. Move. Go on. You got throw up all on the side of your face. You got throw up on your shirt. Bus driver even put your ass off and everything. You put your purse down. Okay, obviously something is wrong with you, but at the same time, you still got some sort of common sense up there, right? So it's like, I'm not a crash out. I'm not out here ready to fight anybody just because they said something to me and I said something to them. I just wait for the moment where a person is just gonna, physically attack me and my family, and then that's when I go for the okay, I gotta defend myself. Obviously, we all gotta defend ourselves. Or as a matter of fact, hold on, let me pump the brakes. My husband is gonna defend us, honestly. But that this is what we live amongst. We live amongst crash outs. Everybody out here, damn near everybody, is evil, and it's very rare that you'll come across the good ones. The sad part about it is it's like they're very deceiving too. You know, the evil beings, they try to disguise themselves as being good people, nice people, kind-hearted, but they immediately end up showing the other side of them, which is the evil. Because they can't stay they can't stay how can I say it? They cannot, even fathom being able to be a cool person for a long period of time. They can't. So yeah, um, I wasn't gonna be on here too long. I just wanted to say, we live amongst the good and the evil, and y'all gotta keep y'all head up out here and stay ready. Cause if you stay ready, you don't never have to worry about getting ready. They talking about these wars and shit, Israel and Iran and stuff. But honestly, like I've been saying, we just at war with each other. That's all it is. It's good versus evil. That's all it is. It is spiritual warfare, strong spiritual warfare. It's to the point where a person will, I'm telling you, they will go to jail because they get the satisfaction off of being able to put their hands on you because they crave that. They want to see red. I mean, they want to see blood. But yeah, y'all, that's enough. I'm gonna come back on here in the morning and nevertheless wake them folks up.